Welcome to my review of One Night in Miami, the directorial debut of Regina King, based on a play by the same name written by Kemp Powers and starring Kingsley, Ben-Adir, Eli Goree, Aldis, Hodge, and Leslie Odom Jr., a film that marks probably my favorite directorial debut of the past 10 years. So, let's talk about it. The film is a fictional account of one incredible night where icons Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown gathered to discuss their roles in the civil rights movement and the cultural upheaval of the 1960s. And this film took me on an incredible journey. This film starts off very lightly, so you have the proper introduction of each character and you see them all coming together, you understand their roles and what they mean to each other, and what this film basically is one night where they're discussing their importance not only to each other but to the world at large and what they could do to help the civil rights movement, and what each of them are doing that and what their approach is and what they agree and disagree with. There's lots of arguments and a lot of tension, and it's a spectacular ensemble of phenomenal performances, excellent writing, and mesmerizing directing from beginning to end. This is one of those films that is tense, it's funny, it's dramatic, it's poignant. It took me from just being in awe of seeing all these icons together, played so wonderfully by all these actors, to just being captured by the directing and how Regina King blocks her actors and how she moves the camera around and how she uses the significance of these people to talk about such important issues. All of these guys are phenomenal in this film. From Leslie Odom Jr. playing the king of soul, Sam Cooke. He is wonderful not only in singing but in really phenomenal performance. Aldis Hodge playing Jim Brown, who frankly is probably the person I was least familiar with, only because NFL is not that big out here, but he's got probably the first what the fuck scene in the film. It's his opening scene. He goes to meet someone played by Beau Bridges, and there's just this cool conversation going on, and then suddenly Beau Bridges' character says something and you're like, oh, what the fuck, man? But Eli Goree and Kingsley Ben-Adir, who I'm the least familiar with as actors, even though I've seen them in stuff here and there, they are phenomenal. I will be shocked if these two don't get Oscar nominations, especially Kingsley, who plays Malcolm X. This is a transformative role, if you've ever seen one. I'm not saying he's better than Denzel in Malcolm X. I'm not saying that. This is a very different time for the character. It's a very different portrayal of that same character, but nevertheless, an important one. There's this moment where he confronts Sam Cooke about something and he plays this song and he goes on to analyze the lyrics, and it's incredible to watch. Eli Goree playing Cassius Clay, who would then be known after that by Muhammad Ali. This takes place in that time where he was converting himself to the Nation of Islam and joining forces with Malcolm X. And again, it's a great expose on the important lives and the work of all of these four people. It's an important celebration of their friendship and their meaning towards the history of what happened from then till now, even though it is a fictionalized versions of events that actually never happened. And knowing that it is Regina King's directorial debut makes your jaw drop constantly. It's kind of no surprise she can get exactly what she wants from actors, being an actor herself, but you can feel she is very comfortable behind the camera. She is very comfortable just lingering and let the scene play out, letting these actors just go and embody these people so incredibly well. Because I mentioned previously, the film starts very lightly, so it's a breeze to go through each section that you're getting these characters and seeing them come together. But once they get to that hotel room or motel room and they start arguing, that's when you notice the big thing this film wants to talk about, and does successfully so. And the film is also very funny. These actors are so comfortable in these skins that they're putting on for these roles. Their chemistry just bounces off the screen and it erupts like fireworks, and it's kind of electrifying to watch them go in between each other, whether they're arguing, whether they're having fun with each other, whether they're marking each other as friends. It's just fluid how it goes from one section of the film to the next, to tension, to levity, and back to tension and levity again, and how the conversations just flow between them. It's simply sensational. My favorite section of this film, if I had to choose one, it's tough. It's really tough, but I feel my favorite would probably be a moment where they go to the roof. Not only because I just really love the framing of that scene, but the very reason why they go there in the first place, and it has something to do with Malcolm X and something that he's not sharing with the rest of the group. And I just felt that scene. The very reason that they went up to the roof in the first place, why they were there. I was constantly sweating, not knowing where this film would go, and now having seen it 2 times, because luckily there were 2 press screenings, one yesterday on Saturday and one today on Sunday. This film just holds up very, very well. If I had to have one issue with this film, however, and it's a small one, but I couldn't help but notice it, is that at points it falls into the typical trap that you might find in a movie that is adapted from a play, and that is, it can feel too much like a play. Not necessarily in terms of dialogue, not in terms of acting, but sometimes characters stay so much in one single place, you start to wonder why they're not moving around more, why they don't have that freedom, because they have that option within the context of the film. It's not that the scene became boring, never for even a sec. It was always exhilarating. But sometimes characters got mad, and instead of storming out, which they do once or twice, you just question, well, why are you sticking around at this very moment? I thought One Night in Miami was extraordinary. It's joyful, it's profound, it's beautiful, it is important, it's poignant. I could use every word in the dictionary to applaud this film if I could. Let's just leave the review at that. I'm giving One Night in Miami an A. I will be shocked if by the end of the year, One Night in Miami is not in at least my top 5. But that will only mean this is still a very good year for film. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. Stay tuned for many more LFF reviews to come during this next week, which is the last week of LFF. And check out all the ones I already have up on my channel. There's a playlist there for you to check them out. And I'll leave a link for that playlist in the description below. Thank you so much once more. And so until the next video, don't forget to stay beautiful, stay geeky, and please do like, share, and subscribe, because it really helps me and the channel out. But most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.